You're listening to Kenneth Hotard Ministries, bringing revival back to America by lifting up Jesus Christ, teaching His message and how it's relevant to our lives today. We've got a post office box if you'd like to write us a letter or help support our ministry. It's Post Office Box 2461, Patterson, Louisiana 70392. That's Post Office Box 2461, Patterson, Louisiana 70392. Also, we have a Facebook page. We have messages from previous weeks. You can take a look at that. That's Kenneth Hotard Ministries. That's KENNITHHOTARD. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening each week, and thank you for the ones that's been liking our Facebook page. Now here's Reverend Kenneth Hotard.
Good to be with you today, bringing a message of Jesus Christ. I believe that's the most important message in the world, the message of Jesus Christ. I don't believe you can go to heaven without it. I don't believe you can be saved without it. I believe you got to have Jesus. And you say, well, you're a radical, Brother Hotard. You're so radical. You don't believe we can do anything. You're radical. No, I believe the right way, and if it's Jesus. And if you think you can get there any other way, then go ahead. But if you miss it, boy, it's going to be an awful thing. We're living in a time now where Jesus is being demoted. In America, we have an Antichrist spirit here that's very, very strong. I didn't want to get on this morning, but the Lord wants me to get on it because I preached a falling away for years, and that wasn't a very popular message, and I don't want to get into a message that's not popular now, but I feel like I have to preach this morning, that we in America need to do something. We need to do something, and the ones that can do something is the Christians. There's enough of us that if we get down and pray, which I've been preaching prayer, but God showed me this something this morning I need to start preaching. Vote. Go register to vote. Get ready to vote. Because I'll tell you what, we're fixing to lose to America as the greatness as it is. And you say, well, Brother Hotard, what happened to the Christians? I believe we're fixing to get in revival, and I believe it's going to be a great revival, and I believe God's going to take care of His people. And I'll tell you, God always took care of His people, and He's going to take care of His people. But I tell you what, peace that we know it today will be gone. The joy that we know today will be gone. There's not going to be America that you know it where you go down the street and do whatever you want. And He said, it's all going to be taken away, and we can stop it. That's what the Lord showed me this morning. We can stop it. We can pray and get God moved, and we can do something else. We can go to the voting booth and vote. You don't vote right, you say, well, you know, I'm going to vote a certain way no matter what happens. Well, welcome to the world you create. Evil is running the country. Don't expect you can keep putting evil in there and have a blessed country. This country is so bad right now, it's $19 trillion in debt. It's fixing to go bankrupt. And everybody, it seems like anybody you talk to just don't think it's going to be bad. Well, I'll tell you what, in your household, today that you can't pay your bills, and you're so far in debt that the debtors are coming after you, tell me what will happen. You go bankrupt. That's the only way you can get out of it, because you can't get the money to pay the bill. We're at that place now. And so much money is being spent. I was figuring it out today, just spent a little bit of time on it, but I was figuring out today that we done went, $14 trillion since Obama's in there. We went in debt. You know, if that $14 trillion would have been spread out amongst Americans, just about every one of us would be a millionaire today. That's how much money was spent. And now, instead of coming to us, it went everywhere else and whatever. But we got a problem, America, and you're going to have to get serious with it. It's not going to go away without the Christians doing something, because this is an Antichrist spirit that's out to get America. It's here. We're facing us. If you do something, it will be all right. You say, well, brother, the Bible said this is going to happen. Ain't nothing we can do. I'm going to tell you what people don't realize about the Bible. God's not going to change. He's going to do what He said He's going to do. But the timetable or the length of it or the problem we're going to have is up to us. We decide if we're going to have this trouble in our lifetime or it's going to be pushed down the road. How many times God says, because somebody got the people praying, and he says, he never says they're not going to have that whipping that's coming, but he says it will go to another generation and won't happen to this generation. Just like Jonah went to Nineveh. When he went to Nineveh, he went there and he preached a message saying God was going to destroy Nineveh, God was going to do something. And they got together and they began to pray and began to fast and began to seek God. And when they did, God went back and said, Jonah, go back and tell them I'm not going to hurt them. I said, I'm not going to destroy them. They repented. They done what God wanted. And they repented. And Jonah got mad. He says, I knew you were going to do that. He knows God was a good God, and if they repented, he would forgive them. And I guess sometimes we think, see what's going on around us and people around us, we hate to pray for them because if they repent, God's going to take care of them. And we don't want that, but we should. We should have a love. But anyway, Jonah went there, and he got all upset and everything. But well, the point is this. When they prayed and sought God, God says, it will happen, but it will happen in another generation. It's not going to happen in this day. That's the ones that done it. That's the ones that should have had it happen to. But he said they repented, and God changed that. And I believe that's the way it's coming up in the last days. How long is it going to? We're going to have a revival. There ain't no ifs, buts about it. It's going to be coming pretty soon, and it's going to be the greatest revival the world ever known. But as I think about it and pray about it, I worry about, is it going to be free where we can go do something for God? Is it going to be wide open? Can we get on the radio? Can we get on the television? Is all that going to be open for us? Or do we have to do it where we're going to be whipped and persecuted and thrown in jail and not be able to get the message out like it should be gotten out? Can we do that? And all that comes to because what decisions the church makes today. I believe we're going to have a great revival and it's going to be free to go. But I tell you what, Christians, you better get serious. You can call me a fool, you can call me stupid, you can call me crazy, you can call me anything you want to. But I can promise you one thing. It's going to happen just like I say. If you don't get serious with God, it's going to happen just like I say. We are going to lose a lot of rights. We're going to still have revival because God said we're going to have revival. We're going to see people saved because God said we're going to see people saved. But America will go through a whole lot of problems. And I believe we need to get serious about God. You know what kind of America we live in today? They're taking all our rights away. Right now, my wife came up and told me yesterday, she said, over there, I think she said California, that they in the school is saying, teaching the kids to say Allah is God. Where did that come from? We're in America. Where did that come from? Allah is God. They in school teaching our kids Allah is God. Had a reporter. We got a which is the black man that's running for president's name? You know.
Ben Carson.
Carson. Fine man. I think he's a great man, but I'll tell you, if he gets to be president, he's going to be a good one. But what the news people been trying to do to destroy him is because he believes in God. They asked him, would he vote for a Muslim if he was running for president? He said, no, he wouldn't vote for a Muslim, but if they were going to change and do different, he would vote for him, but not as a Muslim. And I tell you what, the news media came down on him like gravy on rice. Hey, why do we want a Muslim as president? He was going to... Women, you better wake up. You're the ones going to suffer the most if this nation turns into a Muslim. Because they're going to make you they're going to have Sharia law. That's going to be terrible. And then you're going to watch your kids grow up being full of hate, and they're going to strap bombs on them, and they're going to blow themselves up. This is all going to happen because this is happening wherever they're at. And so they got after him again. That didn't seem to hurt him, so they got after him again. And the next thing they want to know, do you believe in creation? That was the question. Do you believe in creation? Man, I tell you what, you say that, and more than half of America would raise their hand. But they asking a man running for president, do you believe in creation? And when he said he did, they jumped all over him, the news media did. You mean you don't believe in evolution? And that's what I heard all day long as they interviewed the news media. And they said, he don't believe in evolution. He believes in creation. His polls went up. He keeps talking like he's doing. They're going to want to make him president, I guess. But I'm going to tell you something. That's what we're dealing with, church. You better wake up. You're going to be known as a Christian, and when they do, they're going to hate you. Right here in America. It's on its way. And you said, Brother Hochstadt, I don't believe it's going to be all that bad. Well, then you just wait. Brother Hochstadt can be right or wrong. If I'm right, you're going to see it. If not, I'm wrong. I wish I was wrong. But usually when God shows me something, I'm not wrong. And I want you to know it's time. I believe, this is what I believe with all my heart. If the church would get serious and pray, and the church would get serious at election time, get on their knees and say, God, who do I vote for? And vote for God and not for yourself. I believe we can turn all this around and bring this nation back to greatness and bring it back to what God. It'll delay what's coming, and it'll delay it for a season. It'll get here. But we can do that. And that's how I felt this morning when I was praying, that it's up to the church. What we do will make a big decision in our future. The devil's on a rampage in this country. I'll tell you what, they're bringing in 200,000 or 2 million. What was it, 200,000 or 2 million?
200,000.
200,000 Muslims. That is more people to spread their message. You say, yeah, but these people are suffering over there. Then let's bring in the Christians. If they're suffering, that's the ones that are getting their head chopped off. That's the ones suffering. If they're Christians, bring them in. I'll be for that. But to bring in that message so they can spread. I think this was all planned by them. And I believe this is their plan. They're going to spread the whole world with their belief. And then they're going to build their churches. And they're going to teach people. And they're going to change people's belief. And I believe that's what they're doing right now. And the church is doing nothing. Wake up, Christians. I'm going to tell you what you say, Brother Hochstadt, we can do something, but there's not enough of it. I'm going to tell you something. The greatest move of God that had happened since Jesus, that's Paul, Peter, and all them, was by 12 men. They started it, and they spread it, and more people followed them, more people believed in it, more people started preaching it. But they were the starters of it. They were ones that Paul went to. He was the only one who was going to the Gentile nations. And he went to one city after another. And he went to one place, and they told him, and they said, he that turned the world upside down is now here preaching that message. So that's what we can do. That's what we can do. And that's what we need to do. We need to get serious about Jesus Christ. We need to preach Jesus Christ. And I'm calling on the Christians, listen, go vote. People say, well, you know, God's going to have the man and he wants anyway. That was said that a couple of years, 8 years ago. I heard that a lot. Well, I don't believe it. I believe God gave us the right to vote, gave us right to make the decisions, gave us the right to have the right one. We choose. He gave us a choice. He gave us a choice. My choice is going to be vote for God. My choice is going to vote for them that believe in him and those that are going to do something for Jesus Christ. We got to stop this Antichrist spirit that's in America. We got to stop it. And we can't stop it without revival. We got to have revival. So we need to just get our serious with God and pray and vote and voice your opinion. And if we can do that, we're going to see a move of God. If we can do that, we'll see something great happen in America. God bless you.
I want to thank you for listening today. And I can tell you right now that our rights are being trampled on each and every single day. And I can tell you they have groups all over this country and minorities. They fight for their rights. But I can tell you right now is our rights are just as important or more important because we serve a God that can do a lot of things for us, or we can do a lot of things for him. And the church does more things for the poor than any other organization that there is. Thanks for listening. Check out our Facebook page. Y'all have a good day.